Governor Landry takes legal action against pharmacy giant CVS. Tan Trung reports a special legislative session is possible to address so-called medical middlemen.
Meg, just hours ago, Governor Landry and Louisiana's Attorney General announced 3 lawsuits against CVS and its affiliates, including its pharmacy benefit manager, or PBM. Flanked by independent pharmacists in the state, Landry and Attorney General Liz Murrill said their 3 lawsuits against CVS Health are in response to what they call unfair and deceptive practices by CVS and its PBM. PBMs are the companies your health insurance uses to handle your prescriptions and their pricing. One lawsuit addresses a recent text message CVS sent to customers ahead of a crucial vote in the state legislature. Lawmakers were considering a bill seeking to ban PBMs like CVS Caremark from also running retail pharmacies in the state. That bill died, and the governor says the text message was an illegal scare tactic, which the state's first lady also received.
On the same text chain under which CVS would identify for her that her prescriptions were ready. Now, CVS can claim that they didn't use her data, but they're certainly using the same text service on the same text chain.
They used our information to lobby for their own corporate interests and to scare people into lobbying on their behalf.
State leaders say PBMs have been driving independent pharmacies out of business for a long time. The legislature did pass a bill that requires more pricing transparency and requires PBMs and also prohibits them, like CVS, from steering certain customers and certain pharmacies. In a statement, CVS said its communications with customers were consistent with the law and will defend itself against the state's claims, which CVS says are baseless. The governor says he's planning more action against PBMs, including a possible special legislative session.